Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video we are going to be learning how to cut this conical gown. So if it's something you would love to learn, please make sure to stick around to the end of the video. So if you are new on my channel, please do wait to subscribe. Subscription is totally free. Hit on the subscribe button and most importantly turn on the notification bell so you can be notified anytime we drop new video. So without further ado, let's jump right into the main video. So the first thing is to take our vertical measurement. So I'm going to rule a straight line here, which is going to start at our starting point. From that line, I'm going to come down to mark my bust point, which is 10. From my shoulder to my bust point is 10 inches. And I'm going to mark that all the way to get a straight line. So if you are following the tutorial, go ahead and do the same. I'm going to extend the point across like so. Then from the top, I'm going to come down to mark my under bust line. From my shoulder to my under bust is 13 inches, and I'm going to go ahead and mark the 13 inches all the way to get a straight line as well. I'll go ahead and extend the point across. From my shoulder, I'm going to come down to mark my waist point. So from my shoulder to my waist is 16 inches. I'll go ahead and mark it all the way. Then I'll extend the point across. Then from my waistline, I'm going to come down to mark my hip point. So if you are sewing for a short person, you can mark 8 inches. If you are sewing for a tall person, go ahead and mark 9 inches. So from my waist to my hip point is 9 inches. I'm going to mark that all the way to get a straight line. Then I'll go ahead and extend the point across. So I'm going to use the whole of the pattern paper as my full length. So you decide on the length you want for yourself. So I'll go ahead and label the lines. This is my hip line, my waist line, my under bust line, my bust point, and my shoulder line. So we'll go ahead and impute our measurement. I'm going to divide my shoulder by 2. My shoulder is 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. I'll mark it here. Then I'll come down by 1 inch at that point for my shoulder slant. Then I'll come here to mark my neck width of 3 inches. Then I'll connect from the shoulder slope into the neck width like so. We always do this, so I'm very sure we are familiar with this. Then I'm going to come down by 2.5 inches for my neck depth. You can decide to use more than 2.5 inches. You can use 3, so it depends on what you want. I'm going to connect from the neck width all the way to that 2.5 inches like so. So the next thing is to mark our arm length. And how to get your arm length: divide your bust by 6, then add 1.5 inches to the measurement. I got 7 inches for mine, and I'm going to extend that point all the way across. I'm going to mark my shoulder measurement on this line to get a straight line. The 7.5, I'm going to mark it here. Then I'm going to connect from the shoulder slant all the way to that point we just marked. So this now become our chest line. So I'm going to come to this line here, and I'm going to divide it into 2 equal halves to get the midpoint. Remember we got 7, so 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. Then I'll come in at that point by half an inch. I'll come to the chest line, divide my bust circumference by 4. I'm going to connect all the way to the shoulder slant to get our armhole. So I'm going to place my curve rule and connect all the way, you can see. So the next thing is to get our dart, and to get your dart, you divide your bust span, that your nipple to nipple measurement by 2. My nipple to nipple measurement is 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. I'm going to mark it on the bust line, on the under bust line, on the waistline. From the waistline, I'm going to come down by 5 inches. That will be the length of our dart, because we wouldn't want our dart to reach the hip. So I'm going to connect this point all together with a straight line. Then I'm going to come to the hip line, to the waistline rather, and then I'm going to mark half an inch on both sides of this dart line here. Then I'll come down by 1 inch from the bust line. Then I'm going to connect from this point all the way to that 1 inch we came down. I'll just connect all the way to meet that point. Then I'll connect also to the dart leg like so. So we now have our dart. The next thing is to impute our round body measurement. My bust divided by 4. Then I'll add 1 inch for sewing allowance. I'll do the same thing to the under bust. My under bust divided by 4. I'll mark it. Then add 1 inch for sewing allowance. I'll come to the waistline, divide my waist by 4. I'll mark it. Then the 1 inch intake for the dart, I'm going to replace it, then add 1 inch for sewing allowance. I'll come to the hip line. Remember that we have like an exaggerated hip, so the pattern paper was not enough, so I had to add another one. So I'm going to divide my hip by 4, mark it, then I'm going to add like 2.5 extra inches to the measurements. You can use 2 inches, from 2 to 3 inches is enough. Then I'm going to add 1 inch for sewing allowance. Then whatever I have on the hip, I'm going to transfer it to the length, to the full length. Then I'll go ahead and connect all the points together. So I'm going to connect from my chest line all the way to the waistline. Then I'm going to use my pencil to just connect the line all the way to the hip line. Try to use your pencil so that if there is any line you're not okay with, you can easily clean and then adjust. So I'm just going to use my pencil to just connect the line all the way to the full length. Then I'll go ahead and trace it out with my marker to be more visible for us to see. So this is basically it for the pattern drafting. So this is the front. The back is almost the same with the front. The only difference is that the back is going to have a zipper. So I add a zipper of 1.5 inches. As you can see, I fold it in before drafting the front pattern. Then for the back neck depth, I'm going to come down by 1.5 inches, but you can decide to use what you use for the front. The neck width is the same, so I'm just going to connect from the neck width all the way to the zipper allowance. Then for our back pattern, I'm going to come to the waist here on the zipper allowance and mark 1/2 inch. And I'm going to connect a line up slantly and down. The first line was not correct, so I had to adjust it. This is to prevent our zip from bulging after sewing. So this is where we don't need, this is the area we don't need, we are going to cut it out. So once you do this, your zip will lay very flat after sewing. So before you cut on your fabric, make sure you cut the back pattern first. So I've already cut the neck for the back, then I'll cut the rest of the pattern paper. So if I've watched to this point and you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please hit on the subscribe button. Like I always tell you guys, subscription is totally free, and do well to comment as well. Leave comment. This will help the algorithm to push this video to more people. Okay, thank you so much for doing that. So make sure you cut out the back pattern first before you cut on your fabric. Then once you cut the back pattern, you can open it up this way and cut on your fabric. Once you've cut the back, you can fold the zipper allowance in like the way I'm doing here. Fold the zipper allowance, then go ahead and cut on your fabric. So it's a very simple tutorial. Thank you so much for staying tuned. See you in my next video. Do well to give this video a thumbs up.